Okay, so we're in record mode now. So I want to thank all of you for coming and joining us this afternoon. Especially those of you who've already done this part of the training, but it's really good. I don't know if you're like me. Sometimes I read a book and it's on the third or fourth reading, I start seeing things I didn't before. If I watch a movie a second time and I think, how did I miss that the first time around? So it's never wasted to get on a call when you have already covered a certain material, because it's all good. And for those of you who are going to join us by watching the recording, I want to welcome you as well, because we know that life sometimes gets in the way. And today is a very special day. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Mark, before you got on, I was saying, I don't know what it's like up in Scotland and whether it's changed since 1989, but from what I remember in the UK when I was there, Valentine's Day meant you would get a card from somebody expressing their undying love and devotion, but they would never sign it. It was always anonymous. Is that still the case?
I think generally it's anonymous, but in couples, we've signed our cards, so yeah. Certainly, I remember going back to school age, you would hand out anonymous cards to anyone.
Yeah. And I was just saying, I used to think, what's the point having this, you've got someone who's madly in lust with you, and then you don't know who the hell they are, And it's very different when I came to Canada, Mark, because I was teaching in an elementary school, like primary school, and on Valentine's Day, they all have these bags and they decorate them. Everybody gets a little card inside and they get little candies. And I realized that it's all about just spreading love everywhere, So I was thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking, I wonder if it's still like it used to be in the UK. So I thought, right, as soon as Mark gets on, I'm going to have that conversation.
Yeah, very, very similar, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. So great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit the full screen, and I'm going to share my screen, and we're just going to look at let's get rid of that, and where are you? Okay, so what I want to do today is just briefly to have a look at a couple of things here, and that was about the connecting, because what we're noticing, I think, is a lot of people in our team are thinking, okay, well, the UK launch is not taking place till end of May, beginning of June. We've got plenty of time. And that is great. We do have time, and we're using this time to get people up to speed on what they can do, what they can build, and to have some background information about the products that will be hopefully available in the UK after the launch, and also a little bit about the business model. And we're going to be doing some more of that after we've done the LinkedIn training. We're thinking about looking at some of the other ways of building a business, and what do you do with people when they come on board, so that when that happens, you're going to be in a really good position to not only start people up, but actually how to coach them to success and how to help them spread the word forward. Okay, so I want to remind you that on the two videos that I believe every one of you have seen, we talked about the possibility of building an organization. And bear in mind, we have got someone in our company who has actually just enrolled two people, one on the left and one on the right. That's all they've done. They haven't done any other enrolling. But they were very lucky. It's unusual, but those two people went crazy and built their own teams. And this person is now maxed out their business venture. And I don't know, that's what, $13,500 a week.
Wow.
$13,500 a week. And that's, is that Kim Bowman?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kim Bowman. And she's never had to do anything else. But that is unique. It's possible. It's unique. And so if we are waiting for activity below us to happen, it's probably not going to happen. So what you can do is to say to yourself, okay, I can wait, or I can connect now and start building a skeleton team. Because here's the thing, you might have brought on B and P and T, but B brought on D and H, and D is building, and E is building all of this. and you brought on P, and they're building all of this, and they're going strong. So when we say having 1,000 people in your team, we don't mean 1,000 that you have personally spoken to and brought on board. Mark, do you want to share the story? When we first started in 2009, I remember the person who was my sponsor said, you should come to an event. We've got something called ICA University down in Toronto. So I said, okay, I'll come along. And at first, like in North America, it's all rah, 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 you know, big jumping up and down and everything. And my reserve Brit, well, I believe I'm reserved. I thought, oh my God, you know, it's like being at a prayer meeting. But after a while, when I started hearing the stories of seeing how ordinary people were living extraordinary lives and what they've been able to achieve, I came out really honestly believing that for the first time in my life, it was possible that I could actually earn $1 million and then some. And that was a big change in my mindset, because it was not part of my expectation, if you like. But I began to see that it was possible, and this vehicle was something that was going to make it possible for me. So I came home and I said to Mark, you know what? We're going to be millionaires. He said, yeah, right. Well, about 3 or 4 months later, there was an evening opportunity meeting down in Toronto. And I said to Mark, you know, why don't you come? And he really didn't want to come. I had to really almost put his coat on, his hat on, and put him in the car. But what happened there, that Susan Sly said something, didn't she?
Yeah, I was a product user only. I loved the products. I loved the way they made me feel. I was getting my health back. It was great. But yeah, I had no desire to do the business at all. But I went to this meeting, as Alan says, he's kicking and screaming, not screaming, but kicking. I didn't want to go. And so the team leader of our group, her name is Susan Sly. She's an amazing woman, and she's got over 160,000 people in her team, and an incredible story. And when I heard that she had 160, at the time, I think it was maybe 80,000 people in her team. I don't know, something like that. And I thought, well, who knows 80,000 people? Who can talk to 80,000 people? And then she said, but of those 80,000 people, I have only personally enrolled like 65. And I thought, well, I didn't think I could do it because I had no confidence in myself at all. But I thought, Alan, you know, the way he talks, he could do it. You know, so I thought, okay, maybe this is possible.
So you came away believing it.
I came away like thinking, oh yeah, this is going to happen. So
and now
it's happening. Yeah.
No, but now
what? Now I'm quite happy to talk to people, and I love the LinkedIn method because all permission based. So you're only talking to people who want to talk to you and want to hear about what you have to offer. So I don't really feel like I'm, you know, like if they say no after what they hear, that's fine with me. You know, I don't care because I've got so many people lined up to speak with already. You know, it's amazing with this never-ending number of leads to talk to. So.
Yeah, and that's what LinkedIn does. I think this is what helped us so much when we did the training with Scott Aaron, and that's why we decided to pass it on to you guys, because, you know, I think in the past, when I made my list of like 30 or 40 people and I contacted them, and probably the ratio tends to be, you know, you speak to 10, one person will come on board with you. So roughly a ratio of 1 to 10. When you get used to, you learn through the mistakes you make, you find that you might increase that to 2 to 10. Real experts can say they can get 3 out of the 10, but you know, 1 or 2 out of 10 is the norm. And that's why, like Jimmy Smith, the butcher, whose story is phenomenal, he said, you know, if I'd have known there was a business where I could fail 90% of the time and become extremely wealthy, I would have done it years ago. And that's the key. You know, you can speak to 10 people, and the one person that comes on board is going to be the one that rocks your business. And this is what we love about the LinkedIn, is because we're continually talking to people, and we know that the people we bring on board are very good quality people. We've filtered out the people who are just curious. We filter out the people who are just, you know, not really interested and just there for some reason. We've filtered out the people who don't want to know. That's great, because that conserves our energy. And I think that the biggest change for us I think I'm speaking for both of us. If I'm not, you let me know, Mark. Okay.
Of course, yeah.
What we found is prior to that, when we ran out of people to talk to from our warm list, I would find like maybe 2 or 3 people to speak with. And I found, this is like 2 or 3 years ago, I found that when they said no, I felt devastated because I thought, well, how are we going to grow our business? But what I realized was happening is that I was making it about me. I was wanting to grow my business. I wanted to grow my team. I wanted to earn the money. And I think, I realized that when I make it about me, the vibration of that is I'm trying to get someone, I'm desperate, and if they don't come on, I get upset. When I finally got it, that this is about serving other people, and it's not about me, it's about them. When I realized that, and I loved it when Isagenix changed its mode to say we're a solutions-based company, I began to think, hang on, if we're offering solutions, how do we know what solutions to offer to someone unless we've been listening to them? And I thought automatically that transfers you into it's about them. And what I love about this is that I don't have to worry about who's coming on and who's not coming on. As Mark said, if someone joins us, that's wonderful. If they don't, that's wonderful too. We try to always make a point of making a person feel better about themselves after interacting with them, regardless of the outcome. And that usually makes you feel good, it makes them feel good, and it's a win-win for everybody. But what we've noticed is that, those people that are coming on board are good quality people. They really are interested. They've got the kind of character that we're looking for, which is kindness, openness, a willingness to serve and help as many people as possible. They're the kind of people that we're attracting into our team. And, it's now not about us anymore. It's about who can we help? Who can we serve? And that's why we're delighted to give this time to people like yourselves who are willing to come on board with us and hear what we've got to share and, participate in the training and, join in that fun with us. So the idea now is to try and help as many people as you can before the launch, so that when the launch comes on, you'll be in a really good position, because there is really no limitations to the number of people you can enroll. And the people that you enroll, there's no limitations for them. It can go on. And the idea really is that you bring someone, you bring on Pam, and Pam brings on Ted and Roger brings on Ellie and Jasmine and what have you, and Jasmine brings on and then Jasmine, who you don't know who they are, she actually goes crazy and brings on 50 people. But the thing is, they're all in your team. And so there's no limit to the amounts of money that's going to be available, and no cut-off, meaning that in some companies, they do say you can go so far and no further. But with Isagenix, that's not the case. And this is the beautiful thing. If you max out your business center like Kim Ballman has, she doesn't want to do this, but she's got an option, if she wanted to open up another business center above her own, so that now she's got that leg already built, and all she has to do is build the other leg. And when that maxes out, she can open up another business center above that. And so she's got now all of these on that leg, and she just has to build another leg. And there's some people on their 6th or 7th re-entry. So there's absolutely no limit. No limit. The sky is the limit to what the earning capacity is here. And, even when we talk about, the money that you can get, the money that we can get, it's what we can do with that money. Money is just, Carolyn said last night on a call to us, when you have a goal, when you have a vision going to the beach, do you have a vision of the money? Or do you have a vision of the beach and the waves rolling on and, the sand and the margarita in your hand and what have you? And the reality is you don't think about the money, you think about what is it you want. Mark and I are really looking forward to going over to Europe. I'm looking forward to Paris. We're going to Paris for 4 days. And we're looking forward to going up to Mark and meeting him and his future team up in Edinburgh. But I'm not thinking of the dollar value. But it's the money that I've earned, we've earned, that's allowing us to do that. So, hold on to the vision. And if you remember, we pointed out the scenario that if only 10% of those, if there's 1,000 people in your organization, now remember, that doesn't mean that you've spoken to 1,000 people, but the people that you've brought on, that it's the people they know and the people that they know that count. And that's why it's important that you keep on bringing on new people, because that's going to even expand further. If you just bring on 1 or 2 people, that could work well for you. But if you bring on a dozen or 30 or 50, that exponentially is going to grow to the possibilities for you. So let's imagine by the time of the launch of 1,000 people and only 10% come on board because the others say, no, this is not for me, and they let it drop. That's fine. We already have one person who we think we've pre-enrolled in the UK who we think has dropped out already. And you know what? That's fine. Maybe the timing for them is not right. We want to work with the people who want this and want it as much as we do, or as more as we do. We want that freedom for you yourselves. So, this is what could happen if only 10% of those 1,000 come on. We've worked out 100 people generates approximately 16 cycles. And a cycle is basically when all of the points that people buy, when they buy anything, when they purchase products each month, each product has a point value. Those points are accumulated by everybody in your organization, including you. And when you get 600 on one side and 300 points on the other, doesn't matter which way round that is, you generate one cycle. And one cycle currently pays roughly $50 US. So 16 cycles, in other words, those 100 people ordering will generate 16 cycles for you, which is $800 US. 50 of those are personally enrolled by you. You get the product introductory bonus for each person, which would be an additional 1,250 for you. So that worked out to 2,050 US dollars. And when I did this originally on January the 18th this year, the exchange rate was 81 pennies to the US dollar. So it would work out to be $1,667. And your pound, sorry, and your initial investment would just be $200.
Pounds.
Sorry, 200 pounds. If you bring on 50 people, or if you have 1,000 people in return, and 50 of those are personally enrolled, the ones that come on, it's amazing. $200 out, 200 pounds out, $1,600 in. It's well worth, doing that now. So that's a really important thing to say. And then, again, the first pack that you purchase, the 30-day system, which is the one that I think the way it works is that the one they're offering to start off with, £200, and we're not sure whether that includes a membership fee or not. Membership fee only here is about £15 for the year. But you continue to receive payments for cycles you earn every week from on ordering, and you would only be asked to purchase a minimum of 100 points every 30 days just to keep healthy and keep active, so you can keep changing those points into money. But basically, the time to start pre-enrolling people now is now. Do it now, don't wait. Okay, and you've got leadership. There's Peter Krop, who is the general manager of Europe, and Kevin Denham, the sales director of Europe. And I don't know, have you all seen the couple of movies he's shown? We posted it in the group where he's introducing the staff there. He's quite a character, I think. Had a lot of fun. One of the questions he asked is, what's your favorite body part? And the poor woman was completely flummoxed. But, he's a great guy. And what I'm thrilled about is someone said to me once, real leaders ask for things, and they usually get them. And I asked Kevin if he'd be willing to be part of our group, and he did, and I was thrilled. So, if you haven't welcomed him to the group, please do so, because, I want him to see the energy in the group, and he's agreed also to come on to one of our training sessions one day. So for those of you who are in the UK, you've got these 2 people you can connect with, and I've got the information here, toll free in the UK. That's the number to call, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. till 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And you can also email customer service uk@isagenixcore.com. So make use of that whenever you need to. You can contact them. When we come to Britain, we're actually going to take a trip to London to look at the London office and to meet him personally. So Mark and Glenn and Neil and Penny and who else? Adrienne. Anyone else who might be watching this later, if you're down in London at all, or if you're up in London, whichever direction you're coming to, feel free to go up there and introduce yourself to Kevin. He'll be delighted to meet you. He said that to us personally.
The official office, the real office opens in April sometime, is what they're hoping for.
Yeah, this is what we saw yesterday on the movie, was a temporary office. But yeah, in April they're going to open, and it's going to be state of the art. So we're quite pleased about that. So let's move on to the training for today. We talked about last time. We talked about building a profile, and we also talked about how we can use the profile. Okay, I'm going to stay with the free version. Use the profile in order to attract people to us. So we're quickly going to talk about connecting today. Before we do though, Greg, I think you had something to share about the endorsements or something, and I want you to mention that about first. What are the points?
Sure, I can. Do you mind if I share my screen real quick? It'd probably be easier for everyone.
I'll stop sharing mine.
Okay.
And then you can share yours, yeah?
Okay, let me just, where do I share? Oh, there it is, share screen, okay. Okay, perfect. So I've got my LinkedIn profile. Where did it go? Right here, there it is. Okay, so towards the bottom of your profile, where it has all your endorsements here, you want them to be 99 plus for each one. I'm still obviously working on mine. And the more 99 plus endorsements you have, the higher your edge ranking is. So the higher your edge ranking, the more people in your list are going to see your posts. It's just going to be higher up in their newsfeed. So as you achieve 99 plus, say for example on the top 2 or 3, you don't want people to keep endorsing you for those skills. You want the lower skills to be endorsed. So what you do, you click on the pen, and you can actually rearrange your, click on the pen, and over here where the little lines are, you can actually reorder them and move your skills down so that the lower skills actually come up to the top. And then you hit the save button at the bottom here, and it'll reorder everything on your profile. So you actually get more endorsements for your lower skills.
Great, thank you very much, Greg. That's wonderful. I really appreciate that, because I was asking Mark, and Greg's got the new version of LinkedIn there, I can see, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And gradually they're all changing. So, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about connecting, and what we found out is that the search bar at the top, you can search for people, jobs, companies. You always search for people, and you can use that search box. There's a limit, we think, of 12 per month. We don't know whether it's calendar month or from month to month from when you join. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, you can use that 12 times, and then it's blocked until the month is up. So what our trainer said to us, try to, if you think about, there's 4 weeks in a month roughly, so 12 divided by 4 is 3. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, use the search box to search for specific people. So you can search there, like I've been searching, looking for new opportunities, UK, or looking for a new start, Australia, or fitness, health, UK, fitness, health, Canada. It doesn't matter. You can just put in keywords, and what will come up is a whole, like 100,000, 200,000 people who have those words in their profile. It's a word recognition thing. So I'm going to do that for you in a moment. I'm going to show you how I do that, and then you just hit connect, and you sort out things later on once they accept your connection. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, use the search box, and that will keep it running for you so you don't get blocked out. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays and Sundays, there's another way of searching, which I'll show you as well. But here what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do looking for new opportunities. and I'm going to put Canada. Okay? People who work for looking for new opportunities in Canada. So now I search, click the search, and you'll see that, oh, I've only got 27 results. Okay? 27 results looking for new opportunities in Canada. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to find those who say connect. Now, when it says send email, that means that people who have got that on there are actually, they have the premium version of LinkedIn. So I don't have the premium version, so I can't send them an email that way. So I'm just going to search through.
I hope you haven't wasted a search.
Well, if I have, it's been good training, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Toronto, Canada. So looking for new opportunities. So I'm just going to hit connect. Okay.
Wow.
And that's it. Okay. So I'm going to use another one. And I'm going to go in here, looking for new, or just going to put new opportunities. No, I will be looking because otherwise people think I'm looking for a new opportunity. Yeah. In the UK. Well, I'll just leave it like that. But I will just want to make sure it's people. Yeah, people with that. And I'm just going to click that. So now I've used 2 up. So on Wednesday, I'll have to use the other one.
There's 700,000 there.
Okay, there's, yeah, nearly 700,000. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go connect. 1. If they've got message, it means I'm already connected to them. 2, go to the next page. 3, 4, 5, 6.
I would quickly look just to make sure that they're in a country that we're operating in too.
Yeah, 7, yeah, 8. 9. Yes, because if they're in Kuwait, then we obviously we don't ship to there yet. You'd have to look at the countries that we operate. Maybe while I'm doing this, Mark, you could just say the countries that we're operating in.
We're in the US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan, Colombia, Hong Kong, and now the UK.
We'll be in the UK, yeah, that's great. All right, so I've done enough there. So that's what I do. Notice that all I did is just connect. And when they accept my connection, that's when I look more closely at their profile. So now, what do you do in the other days? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday and Sunday. So if you go under My Network, you'll see people you may know. And people you may know, you've got all sorts of connections here. So again, I can connect with that person.
And that's the number of
people
you have in common. So
yeah,
if you can find connections that have very few in common, mostly there's not anyone from Isogenics that has
already connected with
them.
So I'm going for 40 and below. All right. Now, if they don't have a photograph for some reason, I don't do that. Okay. 40 and below. So again, you can see, yeah, they're all local to us in Northern Ontario. It looks like. Xerox. So
one thing to make the search easier, Alan, on the previous screen when you're searching for seeking opportunities or whatever.
Yeah.
On the left-hand column, there's a part that says relationship, I believe, and if you click second connections, it'll.
Well, advanced.
No, not advanced, but if you're, we'll see when they come up here real quick. Okay, you see on the left it says relationship.
Hang on, I've got to go up a bit.
There you go, advanced people search. It says second connections, group members, third plus everyone else.
Oh, here, yeah.
If you were to select second connections,
yeah,
it'll show just people that are close to you but not currently in your network. So it'll say going through.
Oh, right. So now I haven't used the search for this, but could I actually connect on that way, Greg?
I believe so, and I believe it doesn't count towards your 12 because you've already done.
That's a better way of connecting, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of them are people I've connected with already because I've got messages here. So
Did you click the second connections?
yeah, I could click.
Yeah, just uncheck the first connections box and you'll see 1,000 disappear, but it'll be everyone new.
Oh, okay. They're first connections, are they, that I've got now? Oh, here. I've got second connections there. That's checked.
Yeah, and uncheck the group members as well, because you might be friends with some of them.
Okay. So going to second connections. Oh,
There
now.
you go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it, 11 million? Or
Oh,
1.1
wow.
million?
So you can do that. Oh, that's good. I'm so glad you're on this call, Greg. I didn't know you could do that. So you can actually get past the 12 a month then.
That's, yes, you do one search and then you just refine it that way. You can do Canada, United States, United Kingdom, whatever you want. So that doesn't count towards the
Love it.
12.
Did you know that?